My name is Kasra Jafroodi, and I lead global strategy for Valorant Esports. Now that Valorant has fully launched, what we're really looking forward to the most when it comes to how we influence gaming and the competitive scene is really being able to innovate. We have a really strong team with really diverse backgrounds, and we really want to take this opportunity to learn from our past, learn from other games out there, and really innovate on what's possible in esports. Because historically, a lot of things in esports have happened with the growth of esports itself, and we think we have an opportunity right now to actually start from the ground up and really innovate. Now, innovation takes time. It's not something we're going to be able to do immediately, but we are looking to push the boundaries of what's possible. The balance of realism versus something that's more cartoonish has been at the core of Valorant's gameplay itself. There's a lot of focus on having a vibrant art style, visual clarity, so that you can have competitive integrity in matches, and ultimately creating a game that's very accessible to players around the world. Now, from an esports perspective, having that focus on more on the cartoonish side and having options like being able to toggle blood off actually allow the esports to also be more accessible, especially because it allows more sponsors and distributors to get involved into the ecosystem. And that just creates a more sustainable ecosystem for everyone involved. Just because we did something for League of Legends doesn't mean we're actually going to do the same thing for Valorant. There's a lot of focus on ensuring we create the best product possible for Valorant fans. And that involves creating the ecosystem from the ground up with a focus on community. We want to start by working with our players, our content creators, our tournament organizers and developers, and understanding what works best for Valorant esports, and then ultimately learning from that to create something that is the best possible product for our fans. Valorant's closed beta was definitely extremely successful. And going into it, personally, I had played a lot of Valorant, and I knew that it was a very fun, competitive game. So there was a lot of confidence in the game itself. We also knew that because of our history with League of Legends, that pro teams would want to get involved in some way in Valorant esports. But we were really pleasantly surprised at the commitment the teams made so early on in Valorant's lifecycle. And it actually just puts a lot of pressure on us and really boosts us and gives us confidence to start creating an ecosystem that is sustainable, that these third parties and teams can get involved in and be successful in. The COVID-19 pandemic has definitely been a challenge, not just for us, but pretty much everyone around the world. I can speak for Valorant, but I know that we've had to go back to the drawing board many times and be very flexible in our planning for 21, as we have to consider many situations, and especially as we consider travel for players, live attendance. There's a lot of things we have to consider, and we've just had to be very flexible in ensuring that as situations develop around the world, we can pivot quickly. We're still working on our plans for the rest of this year and for 21 as well. Ignition Series is an opportunity for third parties to get involved, and ultimately we're watching very closely, and we want to learn and understand what's best for Valorant, for what styles are best. And as we go into later 20 and even 21, we're going to take a lot of that learnings and figure out what is the best ecosystem, how can Riot best create an esports scene on top of what third parties have created. With Valorant esports, we definitely understand that third parties are really important, not just to the game, but to the ecosystem itself. And we're very committed to supporting these third parties, especially as they're making commitments and investments into the space. And want to ensure that when we create a Valorant esports ecosystem, it's not one where just Riot wins, but that third parties can also be successful in it as well. I just want to thank our fans for being patient with us as we build this game and this esport from the ground up. Ultimately, as I said, we're trying to build something that is best for our fans, and we're listening, and we're trying to take that feedback. So continue posting, whether it's on Reddit, on Discord. We're listening, we're reading, and we're definitely collecting the feedback and ensuring that everything we do is something that creates the best possible product and the best possible experience for our fans.